Our President John Dramani Mahama showed the way. He himself pledged 6 months of his own salary.
I can also confirm that he has submitted a letter.
Galam say yinya chama Wontumi nkuna ye kase nkrofo ye. Why should he be singled out?
It's a natural disaster. No, me ni hu to me say metimi de astop no any ade ye. E betimi ane wo mo no akokot na yakasem na akopim say ebewie na ebewie no soso no. I know say
in some way for nyina kwaba epium emma dwumade so ensem bebre and a free his excellency John Dramani Mahama aseye eba obepiem ewo oman Ghana mu a mampani John Dramani Mahama adi dwuma bi ama the way Ghana for esi bom mampani abaso busia esawani esesa me ena me catch quick one yeba borum na information Efri ho eba after set deputy electoral commissioner Bosman Asare or resign yano enkomo we bring so ene free ho eba yebakon so na fe no yedun komo but Ghana for bi keka se ai EC chair na nkasa na Ghana for person or resign but then as we say oba be resign and as oto so aye na dwuma no enkomo we bring ene free ho eba Bernard Entwibu asiako tama Wontumi a trem die ntia cause financial loss to the state now and some tama Wontumi edia to dwana busia esawani esesa me ena me kato ebako hon so na fe no edin komo weni semfofo bi ni aboabo no a yede ni nyina egufom ede ama ahefo eno ati no busia panikovu so adumi aye krado a oba be biebie nsemnim na fe no wacheche ne mba quick one yeni kan ko na yentewe and say we a promise delivered Mampani John Dramani Mahama and na dwuma for woma donate sika twitwi die wenya oman Ghana ska o we eye mampani ankasa botom sika and na pointies and na woma yisika omode ba be boa Ghana for a quick one yenkotie we mra ne koba ensem bebre ewachi
A fund and leave the room. He himself pledged 6 months of his own salary as seed funding. He then turned to us, his appointees, and invited us in the spirit of the reset agenda, in the spirit of leadership as sacrifice, to contribute our 1 month's salary to the fund. Our President John Dramani Mahama showed the way, and colleagues, we have followed with a patriotic answer. We answered the call. Today, we are gathered here to formally present the proceeds of that answer. The Controller and Accountant General has already transferred the amount of 6.1 million cedis to the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, comprising the President's salary donation and our contributions as presidential appointees and staffers, and deductions for those who fail to meet asset declaration deadlines. Colleagues, I want to take a moment to acknowledge what this has meant in practice. These salary donations came with real sacrifices, bills that had to wait, plans that had to be deferred, commitments that had to be renegotiated. We all knew the costs, and we paid it anyway.
Okay, I'm sure. Mama kwaba. And then some dozen because I and some free time I want to me say bano and say I know do. But I said I know I Mahama care. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama at donating a ketia. Nothing appointees so almost like a tia. I'm a Siameno Casay. Mahama care no emwe de. Eti says here no obi are kidney. Obet me aqua siki. I help from Mahama care. But quick one, young room.
Okay. Mame enchia yarefo na menase ewa hanum kwaku wo mo wonum bi aya na wo no to enyum kro na wo mu didin wo se ne hye ho ba we mpese me kakra bi nam de Mahama hye ho wo se ye ba mansi nsuo mu ansa no aham ama bebo dimpo aye na mpese me Mahama ba mansi nsuo mu ansa no aham ama bebo dimpo aye
ba ma joma me ba mansi nsuo mu ansa no aham ama bebo di o joma me aye
dimpo nye din o usua so asua ni ye na wo to awato ye na aso di hene ba sa ni udi hene e wo take achi wo ba bi oduom bo a nti sua na to ni ye de adesem ni tie ni ye akofa nwimi nyina ba ni be mate yesi be ma ni di okotire besen asamu kan wo se wudi so and ushe bonu ani so a o respect
obi se ayi se dwomama donate says ketwitwi die we e de akoma Mahama ke abote mamufuo no enkenye news bi e wosan ke ka ho asem
onfa ne de no ne kakra na wonya no on donate mfa me na busua no hwese ye news ana se nye news a se nipa na wo ka no ne de kakra na wonya no on de mo mfa nkomo obi a but ono na busuafo on save 6 months on save 1 year na katua nyina onfa me na busua panyin se wonye na ye bi ba fia ya wo de aso asene na ye ready abusuan mu de ombaye no say ye normal sometimes no unipa bi se no kasa ya hwe na dwen na we nipa ba bi ofri ba then no kai say there are some records bi aba anhwemu research bi aba say enipa 600,000 they are madly mad wo bodam no ano omre kakra and ye what 3 million e wa Ghana wo bodam totally. It is set nipa no ya no remember such a year research no ba bia de say nipa no be gina kwa
asam no kiremu kakra ma e brofo no a okan
ye o kan nyina ne say Mahama shebo say Mahama ke no eye foto a wabo na ye de to ho no mo na omamu no nyina nyade wa kase na natural health insurance emfa ni titru akoma yade kidney nom brebo nom ane yare akese ni nyina no so obi nso yare a yahwe sanfotuo no mu ne atimi ayi bi ne yade aso na sene eno ti Mahama shebo se ono na katua 1 year mu a odisi wo na oya a onni so kapre no ayisu esin wo ria wo de nyina kwa akoto futuo no mu na aboa ene nkrofo nso ayo bi na afei na bra na so na nye Mahama de nko a wono na pointi sa wabo mu de omo ye adwuma wa aban mu no ebi nso de ka ho na de ye medenie obeka ma mpanyini ka se obi a ubebuso na declaration of asset no one declare no aban be twe waso aban na so twe wa me enwa so twe beba se betimi adu adwuma firi nsam se ebeju akatua se ebetu sika so no wa me ehu but the name wa me ehu se sa nkrofo na omu felix abre na wo manfo mo de amanyina no wo motete wo mo so akatua so e de aka wono no de ho e na wo mo de akoto futuo no se bam kwaku na me kan se bi na we betom wo se abo no ani so ebu ayebu no kofom nipa mu mfa anya hwe biem asa me metiwe no ahye mbo no ani so me mfa anya hwe biem enti me undim se untumi nyama me mfa no me meka because me say bisa wa afem bisa ba ko mienu miensa na me jai then no respect na ye trase ko sua ya che ne ase atwam ba ko enti wa gain respect e wo wiase Ghana titiru e wa hanom enti wa so won ti ase ne po ne da no kose no because se nkan nsuto na yiri e wo honom kwa 1 year salary 1 year salary and na yet wa katua so na say health insurance ana snit ana yasetas ya betime makatua fia minya so ne yasa de ni nyina akwa akotua na nunu mpo no snit ya me amedea da che me kwa mgie mu a metimi akwa akoyie no mekwa akodie health insurance ya me amedea enfa nkoye mu obia ana tax no nso no at least direct and indirectly no ya de ma bina mod baby bia menya mfaso ho enso me isu meseme ntwe because ya tie sika na kasa no manum enti meseme ntwe but when it here one katua one wonya bibia mfirimo and I'm telling you say Senator John Dramani Mahama busuani bi nyame mma ne mpengu but it is part of us so wonya akoma ya de liver problem kidney problem enya safutum no obekwa ko iska na de akwa say busuani no because even Ibrahim Mahama is capable of taking care of the whole family one more ball no and the akabia enti enkoyi bi but one no moment ho say as a president what didn't see kabesa de kwaku ya wa anu obi she a whole nyankopon bo so osi asoda
no osi agana for mo kaseti e na no kwa kufuaro
na wo hye nyankopon bɔ na nipa da sani kaseti a wuti ebere Solomon ka se obesi asoda de nyankopon ofi se nipa ankresaize uza sa tem na nipa bi won ma na wo mo enyo so bara osi ya na wansi ye bisasem osi ya na wansi osi adi hye nyamye no nyamumfie de ye dire nyama cause wo ya no wanya no metie ya no osi di hye nyamye no nyam eti se wo no nyam ya kwa pam no se nyankopon bo so obesi dan ayi na free have na na ba betram enu ti kodwiri nkrofo dan to gu ya na social media ya say one ma ko bu dan bi wo wa ho as northern region ho school dan bi a ya to blog wo form kakra ne aba batesi so be 150 years wa ko bu agu enti nkrofo nti ase me why abane 6 unit classroom mienu aya munu ni one acha dada years 150 years and said dan ye dem prekompo gumu no na nkrofo wa Muhammad no trend wo social media say ade abana ko bu agudi kwa kosi eye 24-hour market ye kone we ne sa cathedral na dan wo do wo mbutugu ye ebinum private ye koye kade to o man so wo di kosi dan ensu nyankopon kura bokra ni pa sha we ni so na wo de wo ni pa da sani na ni pa sha obo no adi so a anya ntontom ni ayeye na wase edema no enti media no kwasem ni evidence ni hu sa announcement we ebere no hu sa nkyeremu no ade ba ko ameka ya ne se John aje waye bi asema meka ya no because ade na waye no eye good enough minim de abeto da ache minim de abeto mi nua bi da ache minim de abeto adamfo bi da ache
MB before to aba no ena na papa bi frame from UK na oni mi din command o ka se ase honorable Kennedy ne kasa ye mu no o kan jobs but until health ewom but obetimi akekire o man no na o man na ye yi a health me fa ne say health so ade a play major role enu ntina Ghana fo bebre yampani foi wo mo yare ye o se me kwa abrochire no wo mo health no wo mo ye ne yie enti se o kire bi na ni da so wo se mistakenly na obi kokonya kidney na Mahama care wo ebetumi support na chese John Mahama obo adwuma pa
exactly ba ma menye question kitu ebi o sa papa na no odi nkomo no Kennedy bia wa mie na no ankasa ebia me yese wo het me yese but I think say if my memory set me right ukokwalebu a okosi dan kakra card si one my I think that children hospital
no kasa na onka ho asem
no ntina me chen sa wanka but no aye bi pa eba nkwada so pom dia o ye bi pa o donotima hospitals ne ade a enti eye good go untimi nchechere o man abra o man na pom di ntimi nkon kan ye free bibi human capital kwaku human capital so wo the capital na yam sika na nkasa da hot say e kura me say yi no you don't have human capital o man ntimi develop because sika na ntimi nsore mfa no nya adwuma ni se nipa na nya amode no the scandal ya koye adwuma kwaku ma misa simple question bi and me per answer the free war adia John Mahama yi se wo donate ska no dia koto opom de futuom na me yare me nua be yade anya yade bi akakenye ti yade ne mmakoma yade kidney heart ye ani liver ne yade akese no obetimi akone anya bi ne yade ahwe no ene de wo si asoda de amanyankopon de he ne nyankopon
o se de oginkwa no eno no metusu president His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ono na metusu ne de no
but wo kristofo nya atomfo ni bi no they will choose nyame asoda cause brainwash no when you talk
me kwada bia meka nanse ma for ebo akofom me said am ma for de wa so dem sa me ma for ebo no me boma mabusuafo ehia moa yesi obi abodam frifie ti mabusuafo na ehia moa no e wo se we kosua adwuma e wo se we kɔ ha we se wo se aboa no school fees kakra de me twawate ase eno no da nchen a na mate ase abonten we hia we ti me kɔ asɔre a sika twitwi dia metam dia koba afode no misiye se me ma metifie onidi yo misiye noje na foto aduane di
one was sama waka no perfect and yankopon te suru say ya obebɔ me nsam say enye se afode no mmokura o but what so say bia na nka wo bɔ afode 1 million a bia na wo kɔ 200 bia na 5 cedis bi na dia kotum nyame ani asokwa kwe asema wo kana nie oi 10,000 na kwaku na asɔre ai why adwuma of writer media na asɔre ne say ya na we yire me sisi di akire ene me ka se no ade nyuma sim ye right ba me sisi ansan wa mo ama me bodi fo mo say that so no ese enti wa ma so de da krokra ye ni mo o ma me ti fie o ma me a wo kye mo fa wa boso me nkono nyem wo ne yam kom cha aboaba wonni e pe 50 cedis pe ade atase akoton meko wo ba ntema dwom onya bi enu nti no amo ne mema de da rough because of pe bibi obedie wo se no de wunhui wo neighbor wote won nche de obedie kura den because what they call for the Amenyankopon. I am telling you, God will never bless such person. Say the word in the busiaho, no saji asono, who send the pan when slap dosso, send the pana one day, was to obey one thing. Outside gentility won't cry. And to Mumenya Chomono. Now, dear John Dramani, Mamma, ye, I just so busy, I saw them pem at the amount mine. No, yeah, while my yard and room go no to so them class saw them, since all the wapum day, it's thumbs up.
Yeah, boys, Excellency John Dramani Mahama, but so a quick one. Answer never got Chama to me, Chama to me, some they are not dead on the for Monte Kuchu, but then. Yanko na yanko this video emra encheye ena Felix Ofozuku achedebe tu bia se Bosman Asare ai electoral commission deputy wa resign also onya adwuma ne biem yanko tie emra e koba busuan be ho adwuma.
Regarding Dr. Bosman Asare, I can also confirm that he has submitted a letter to His Excellency the President indicating that effective 31st July 2026 he would resign his position as deputy chairperson of the Electoral Commission. He gives a reason for his resignation, which is that he wants to go back to academia and pursue his career as a staff of the University of Ghana, and conveyed his thanks and appreciation to the President and people of Ghana for giving him the opportunity to serve in that capacity. We are also aware that a second chairperson, is it in the person of Mr. Samuel Tete, has also gone on retirement as, I beg your pardon, a member of the Electoral Commission or a deputy chairperson. And in that regard, processes are underway. Indeed, the Council of State has already been given a nominee, which they are considering. And once that process is completed, an announcement will be made in terms of the replacement for Mr. Tete, and then in due course a replacement will be found for Dr. Bosman Asare. So I can confirm the resignation of these two people.
Okay, finally Bosman Asare. What they are not taboo di pao. Sir, from but the again of what can say Pemuna na kiepesa or resign. I Jail Mensah no on again of what one person also resign count.
I did on se dua sifie na eya agifie na boso na esene nkrabata na doso na apese obudua no a anase bi e ben light pole e be japade bi betimi ase na o sha ase twetwa ho nkakra umu ni gyen because o kase wo twa ne say temple kopa ba bi be mu ni be kwa koto be se ne ma bebre to sha ase na wo yiyi ho kakra bi wo kra ye wi a ye nyi ho ni a sha ase ne esodua na sigya ni esodua na sigya nti no asi wo aba wo se na ewu na epone ebi na ekoi ago ehun nya se obetwa dua ni nyina pen dia to wono betimi ase ne ma Bosman Asare nyi se na adwuma nko na na nso ani wo yi nanim ma ye hunu se wo ya MPP ni ono ani post oto de to Facebook anya me kofi na me ka ono ani post tata ne de so call retirement enti ne braso e no call retirement wonko Bosman de oso wono ade ndi bra de ato ada ya wo kusunya de kwaku it is better de bia meka and makan ha some ni gyen ayi Mensah enka mia me so me de letter about say de Bosman ya ayi kwaku unim anu boa ma usivi no ense no
o se Jail Mensah
ni Jail Mensah ka Bosman de letter ba yi kenen ka me so me de dia befo aso se me so me si fom
ka so ba resign
wura no to open dia na open se kwaku ade enu open ho adwuma na wo ba mu no wo bo chidom ma no ba ye wadwuma apese o ye no no amfa enu ko social media na na esere keke ai na adwuma na ne tax MPP de share ne nsa so men wantimi execute enti wo so resign wo ko adwuma be no be share nsa mo kana na omunim enti Bosman ko tata resign so I was about appointing new 2 deputies no me be deputize wo na o tena soro honom maame me ne wa kenen come so de resignation letter aba kwaku Bosman it serves him right da bia meka There are some position be a woman more. So person we bia. Oh yeah, Danya, you can never be neutral. Tina de bia me catch and training ye neutral. Mr. Mumbo for neutral Montiasi. Sabba about 2 million democracy, there is no neutral. Fairness. Kasa ya fair. Because anudie, we MPP ni kura na send this in na ya de na ya. Ubetumi ya fair no aka say oh ade a John Mahama ye de ye. We this ni kura na MPP ni ya de na ya. Ubetumi aka say ade MPP ye de ye. Why ye fair? Aha wa anye neutral. Bro for no. Politics ni. Enti so be aye battle commissioner. So be IGP. So be chief justice ye. So be aye defense minister. Ene sa nneema na ekeke ka ho nyina no kwaku. Obia ni won ma won to aba. Na obia nso ni wa woni political party a woto aba de ma no. But de bemma wo ba. Ghana fo nyina de o machita de ama won se. Wanyi wani ma me so ye MPP ni ana so ye NDC ni. But wo ye obi bia wo sumase. There are some police officers edru ba bi wo mo resign ye. Na wo mo contest ye. Obeka ya aye tobu nonchini. Say ni din menya right papa fachempa or resign ekoya politics ko di MB NDC ani ma one we MP ebiesi MPP mo nso pen but sa tobu no uti ni din bra no oye police no because no ni rank no so wosoro pa say no oye niema bia na e kire se we NDC ni until so resign ne mu bi kura ya ba be hu but kwaku so wi wanim sa de boss man no mo ye no mo electoral commission won mo ye wosono no a wo wadwuma na nka sa anyu akono na yode amoni aka ti da bia no anyan wani se kwanyam na ato no sa na ahwe nipa enti aye se wono ade ne resignation letter dia ba se wa resign in fact me dem hu ya me bo na ba so oh yeah because abani mom na yi na di ana ne bibia wa ye nti na mra yi na di a ese wo CV
o be se ai wo mu a etwase yi wo mu free ho no wo mu an resign
simple. When your friends will be on
Kaba, Chief Justice, Nanka woman now I resign.
Once Uncle Folk to no far. Won't resign, you can think of what you do. And yet, this in a permit, me and a me jaya, and indeed, what to be general car, say, so fire kufu, and you'll be a pamono. One was meant to be a council of state, and the bossman so much me a job at Biaka, me, Namada so easy deputy, chair, me and I made me debt to us a management, indeed, and you'll be a pamono. Enti eye good me bona baso so take his steps no adukwe won follow suit simple
quick one Bernard Antwibu asiako chama Wontumi adin komana ne komana no odin ezem bangen sensem plea bargain or co prison or co jail abusua wadi hu nkomo yenti wemra ne koba nsem no doso
eye plea bargain nsem a wo kan ne ade eye enye bibia se eye 2018 enna because me pese me ye afuo ewo eye sechere nti afuo no a me ye se me pese me ye no na ye commercial farming na commercial farming so wo pese wo ye commercial farming na there's a lot of risk ewom globally eye wiase afa na nyina nya Ghana nko a 1 ebetima ye nsuo 2 betima ye pets emwa 3 a bit my market even price. Some markets, prices are falling. What you say? And a 4 can be anything. And see a bribe, you call, me court say, company, may quackody loan near Pesse. Yeah, quadilo near the year fool, said the year fool. Na company be a quadilo at the year fool, a Sabine coy. And to a moment, I had the collateral by. And so, bank biano ye free be term sheet and to omo term sheet ba say term sheet no 1 I was say omo na farm manager a free Brazil de ba but it depending on type of the crops are ubedua eno ye and the time on I was say inti Brazil omo yes omo ko fa ba no afi antimi amanesa and omo fa obi wo Ghana because na ye a bro any ye dua maize. And no, the season, you bear within 3 months to 4 months. And see, yes, almost farm manager, Nibiwaha, to almost farm manager, Nibi de Mae. And watch it, my say a day, a ye, ama woman, a collateral, the ama woman. No more farm manager. One more so, and a Sama insurance company, a man insurance company, and so. Ebebe share, ebe insure, afuo no ayeye no. Ene, edai, se nsuo to sesi a, ofin na enkran. Ankobra na enkran. What you say? Oti ena enkran. But ene, amanfo bebre fie se nsuo to a, untimi cross. Even main road you cannot cross. Enti, ayeye no, sa afuo no, ene nsuo yiriye ene bebe fae. Abroni nyina de koye se de nsuo bubu amanfo dan ye no enti a natural disaster no meni hu to me say metimi de astop no ene ade ye na sabre de soso no se wo hwe 2018 aye Ministry of Agric 34th anniversary omo ye omo my best farmer. Yes,
one your best farmer paying
omo nya first runner, best farmer, first run-up. I was such a Anna, Omode Maye.
That means now we have phone dada.
Yeah, phone no UTV. For a yiko omoba ho na baba share sabe enye magic say ebi I was sorry and now I say want to be so I for no, there's a process to do the farming. What I say, Anna, a man the bar say. Anumu Anna a year lawyer Andy, I say. Said that court to back, court to me, no court to me and son. Aye, in Indian chino. None near ma wouldn't moon. We say, we a year as them dear no. Anka, ye bet me. And ne womono ako court. Na yaka 7 copim say baby, nay baby no so. I know, sir. Sabe, a company, and abba, aye, but so but obatiasia. Ye wo emre bi wo ho a ye frɛ pre-bargaining na no first no na ye omo wo section 35 737 e wo ho but nya no ana me pese me ka ho asem bas aye section aye 162 says 162 at 1079 2022 Emrebi by say eno no de eye negotiation na oma drop charges no then you pay the said amount na omo no edemaye no then it become a negotiation for them to aye o lawyer ono de woko eno ono akotu ne mra eno ono de woko mate o frame anopa meba o frame wia meba da bia no meko said you see no why Wontumi nti no and say hey what I say but negotiation doesn't mean guilt.
Okay,
Negotiation doesn't mean guilt. And why he quoted the law 1621B no doesn't mean guilt. It's a negotiation. It's a purely negotiation. And 1079 at 1079 no LI 2022 no eso so ye no e can clear say omo wo sa mra no say lo e ka mra ho so it's my aye mra lawyer no choose say o de be ka asem no sana etie but no nche say obi edifo ana say no that's my make actually we ye say you see sabe when na obeko bank say o say oko bank no akwakoji sika na enye process aye process process aye bank no na dem ma what you say enya wo na wo ko na so ko fa bibi ye o bank ne de omo nhye ye de be man na wo what you follow. So I don't want to go in too much, but this is how the small narrative I think say I can batterize to concrete facts. This is how I think I can say it.
Okay, abusia kwaku Bernard antwibu asia ko chama Wontumi wa kyerensemu na wa bronsem so but chama Wontumi kasa no me tibibi wo ma se na me ntiase o ose chama Wontumi kasa aburo ya ensuo fa no aburo a wo aye afu ensuo afa aburo ni nyina mu aboka no esi den ye san so asa akoma best farmer ena sa video na UTV fo koye ya aburo fo kakraka o aburo na abawi o edi chama Wontumi sa kasa ensuo fa aburo no mentiase
Kwaku Me wuna cha disaster crew. Chama Wontumi ebrofo no na be nsuo bi ana o sesakire no okoye no. Bepam cho mo amunim sakire no mo mekire me nsuo kase bi eda ho. Ene ba bia na sase ne da no nsuo ane da ho. Na sase no ne da bonhwamu ana. Te se ukọ ba bia lake da. Lake no nse eda fom sei. Ena be po atwa ho chance nsuo nyina to be ba betena gum no. Bepam cho no nso mo waye hu. Bada sase a woni YouTube fo ko gina so twa video no de. Kwa kunya sase e de bonhwam. Kwaku asase a Chama Wontumi ka so ye sofo no se usi adan a adan be se mako mpema hanan e na be koso e chese nya asase wa kwaku e ba ne sei na nsuo toye na timi file bro ni nyina e koye na cha disaster se de ne wochim no ti Chama anya ba akokora mu na nso sa afi kro no ano ye man the best farmer was actually
eni asem no
kwaku ti Chama Wontumi kana no tuma be den Anno na me nwunu ne nsentro say wa ma kwan mo se na dwuma but I think say wono mo ma be say ne mo wa say ne mo this interview it was unnecessary
ana asema no kakra tu say plea bargain no o se ne lawyer no na ye eti to wono no de
me ne ma ko fa me lawyer nti wono wa taking decision kwaku eho Chama Wontumi boa ma me ka sam
abuhwan say
eho sansam na Chama Wontumi say wona ko fa ne lawyer and one na taking this ni decision no me ka cha Chama Wontumi say me say obowa adentra bisa obia lawyer ni bia and obia wanya case bia wo court pen and obi onimra bia say your lawyer can never take decision solely
there is no emra nim for
na ni obetro mra no say e bia we ni say ni intimidate kan person ki ko ni say na won so adwen kire te say na won so che say oh there be me pen say lawyer me person ye ko ni say enti lawyers they are there to work for their client. They are not there to decide for their client. Enti Chama Wontumi ahawoboa lawyer bia be catch and I know say your lawyers are womo ye viewers are womo hwe lawyer bia no take decision the man client o no say lawyer be take decision the man client na ya bla the client na ka cha ne say media meja bibia the amount enti wadi ehokra no one man to me so no amfa nyinam no onye bibia wo pe bia amfa mawo
enti Chama Wontumi as regional chairman as say o ko for national chairman now lawyer ka say yenko for plea bargain now so say da bi mindi boni bia o so oko for plea bargain na sorry to say ehon na ya akra na woni begu ase o because na chese boni no wadi enuti na oko for plea bargain no what ya tum say what cause financial loss to the state to adjon phone so atum na wotu esika de amae national time I do baby amount for beka say into as personality Chama Wontumi me nya so se nkobeti ase
kwakuya
se nkoni boni bia nkonti ase o
ya obi beka cho se plea bargain no nkire se wudi 40 se de no wo ka no obeka cho but direct and indirectly nkire se wa committee because won say bi asam na eko no emwa wo ti ma me nyanam de ntwa so kra enti se bibi ni won ma besi kwan de na apese twa asam no so yankwa ni mu ni
abusua eden se ayeti ai na o me beto ha phone da ha na me se abusua phone me de to ase nti wo no afa phone no bra na me twe abo so ana ase okay wo de o se mafa yenko for plea bargain na me ntua phone ne kama o masa eden o
kwaku eden me no ya to ne eden pa na oni me etoda court no waste of time energy I didn't want ni for so dey work woni for but etoda sika obese no ansa ne be dia sem ni be wie na judge be bua se woni for no na say sika na wase no wie wada agie etoda waduma bia wo ye benya sika aba na wo so wuja na court no ade enti enye wo na afa fon no ba do timi ka se wo de enya hwe so se wo na mafa me sra fon no ye se ma me ntua na court atentwe mfiri me so no agade aka no de amenya me eti fa ba bi no aya no kresa se plea bargain no it doesn't mean say doesn't mean say udi for e wo honum but to cut eniema short no wanya hono ade hono akọ ba bi but Chama Wontumi wan kasa na nka aye den because asema wo ka ye nyina wasa ka kwa de ababa besia mianwuru say wo ye afuo e na age best farmer because obi enu wa anya afuo wo best farmer ana MPP nam so ye MPP ni nti no wiem ohun kwaku ye kasam chemo na no wo mo se mampon Asante regional minister nua Ajman po constituency on best farmer e dey na kwa so Ghana e dey na see ya Ghana ene Wontumi akoya fu ma abura befa ensu abefa aburo ni nyina akọ enso onya best farmer eno na ba ne say sometimes when you see NDC NPP now omo make any argument wo se wo de wo ye fair no just stand firm na tie bof omo wie bof abon de wo jimi ene de wo ni nyansa and don't be say me dem NDC ni tichinchira achen e wo say me gina say me NPP ni tichinchira achen just say so open correct tie wo mo na ye din a botom be kwa ba ko de be wo ena chema Wontumi ayen wa anya afuo nsu abefa afuo no enso yaman best farmer e wo ho no mo edie nam ye boss ye hweso ne de ma best farmer ye hwe adwuma waye ku adwuma wo ye ne de best farmer de ama wo
yeni nkomo ketua bi wa se atachia na ni new lawyer o entinanu aso abeka wa se watete se strategy won be so mu yese ya no mo de twintwa asam ase eya ye no kro
tie de enti ye no kre and the Appiah kubi kasa no ofiri court no kotie no o say media ma resign and my culture my client here ni new lawyer wafa no se court no ma ne mre no mfa nhwe case ni mu dia e ho de me mfa ho tie go and listen to that video e de na e ka kire wo e kire se e ye jirigogo what bo football now in North Africa for nebo now one wadi ka show one now or who say be a pressure ne so no or the form or the kakra no atofom bakra no atofom no di waste time no di waste time a strategy a bo am football no the all really no the officers scholar na in favor of him no etimi ebo man ko
say the okay there na in favor of Chama Wontumi
dabi se wo hunu say the econo se wa mosa tactics na ebetimi di ahocha because pressure na ba opponent na pressure ama o anhwe ya obetimi abeteka no amwa ko prison tam nti ade ade na min delay se ne be ya judgment no ebeka akiri eno na Wontumi yin enti new lawyer beba they all completed their check court na say my lord I just came I don't know the details
atachia so meba atachia so de matene se onye lawyer keto wa MPP
atachia nye lawyer keto wa MPP ma na anu ya o ma obi kodem onye lawyer keto wa mo na anu ya o ma obi kodem kona kore no records lawyer keto onye lawyer keto wa no de oye lawyer keto obi a nye lawyer keto chechu keta credit as body for de ebiom enye wo lawyer keto a wo ya na sa wo kase a wo yo eye the quantum of the case kuna wo so dia se the quantum of the case kura wo na miemu se wei wo ye lawyer na so wonya lawyer kwaku sometimes no wo bo degree kwa chire na eboa wonim because I am my respect judges na tia konwom no etiane se obi de ni case akoma chachichikata no de ko supreme court a kind of respect that judges na de emma no ya my respect that but that respect no enkonko wie mra ne say chachu client na na bandi for na am say chachu ye senior lawyer ntie no ene entimi nka say chachu di for yeah bi enka about elections a competition e ko enka chachu ankodi for enti senior lawyer de obeye the judges will give you the respect say de na no omo ka bi che say wa me he no say na o lawyer kota fufura bankwa mu na nkwa na aba begina yanim at least nka senior lawyer bi di wanim e sa na tie senior lawyer and respect ba dignity ba e ma judges ni bu e toda kra ne nsem opeso wo ka no ye man kwa ma Wontumi ka but no nkonko wie se lawyer chatue atachie wudi fo enso nam se ye bu wo na ye senior lawyer ntinu wudi bem za sam ne se Wontumi kotu efo agudie no sa sam ne se Wontumi kwa Ezen Bank ekoba obesian na wonim se Wontumi case ne enye no kwa na ye kan se di ombebua ne nya Ezen Bank asemu di ombebua ne tad no eya ye friend se ye samra boy okowura mu kotu agudie Wontumi case ye se ye bese fo asesen Ezen Bank de nda nchen efo agudie de da nchen na me bomba se wo wi Mahama so defamation so beto aso until so be pacho no amemra ne behunu mo boka crack se bia 15 years nti e ma 5 years no emrade nini sani etie na fata
quick one yenko ti nkomo a honabu Fuseni Donko Tamale Central MP ode atodwa na enkomo a wadidi afọ Chama Wontumi nsem hu na busua ese afede atensem na se quick one yenye konwa na yentie nsem a MP no de atodwa
case no omo awie ya dikis na awie ade de ehia no se the judge will give his judgment. That the judge never the judgment, no. And yet, Appiah kubi will hope and now on the hope. Judge never the judgment.
Oh, sir.
Yes.
Even if there is no representation of a counsel for the accused,
the judge will just record that there was no representation.
How?
That's what the judge will record.
Counsel say wafa lawyer foforo and say na memo explaining na no lawyer na wafa no of what effect could it be? We better be arrest judgment and now be.
No, he will just try. It's just I don't know the strategy, but he will try to arrest the judgment. But on to me, the horses are bolted. It's a little too late to do anything about the judgment. The case is closed. So judge, a certain time frame within which to give the judgment. The case now as far.
Wow.
It's finished.
By no, he gave an indication, sir, he will call for the proceedings whereby the court erred in the proceedings. Of course, so no idea, and no want to be in the matter say be obeti me in our jurisprudence no obeti me the be a higher court or a supreme court for interpretation of a beer more rules be or obeti me.
Oh, that will be a matter for on appeal. Maybe the judge and judgment no year, and then the proceedings of the court is made available to attach here. No, her proceedings, and then there's a procedural breach. And now there is a fundamental rule of breach of natural justice. And now the judge took into consideration what he ought not to have taken into consideration. And such things. And now there was no really offense found against the accused person. But the judge went ahead to pronounce. So there could be many grounds, but that will be after the judgment.
After the judgment?
Oh no, but case now closely. The case is closed. There's a time, you see, this criminal jurisprudence. So that's why everybody is saying that. Mostly jurists and lawyers are saying that criminal case, we should find a time to expedite action, because some decide if I don't call court, oh yeah, I did. I mean, it potentially infringes on his right. Until let's expedite action and try to finish the case within a reasonable time. Okay, committee, clarity committee, okay.
Aye.
And the time limit for criminal trials. In fact, they were so convinced that a criminal trial should not go beyond 6 months. Yeah, because you see, why you will be, we see why you're born, or is that it should not be a trial and error matter. It's because there's a prima facie case says and that's why you are trying that person. So why should it take more than 6 months? So that was why Clarity's committee said, no. This thing should be, unless you are fishing. So that is why I believe that even the Appiah Kubi had reasons to withdraw, he should have withdrawn before the closure of the case. We have three witnesses. Oma leading evidence. You have been cross-examined. And you have closed your case. Now close your case. How can it be opened again?
Oh. I say one case ni koso nyina through all the trial, cross-examination, whatever. No, one ma bontia me complain the behavior of the trying judge. Nemum a call ya a call we na or become we.
No, I never. You say you're training. The case is done in the court and not in the public domain. You see, politics na amma lawyers be brave. Omuko court we are no muka assembly SC court. But you train and say, we a lawyer, you have to do your case in the court, not in the court, not the court of public opinion. In the law court. So, but the judge no emphata. There are remedial steps. Law no ankasa emma lawyer remedies. Because omun say judge no nipa. Nti motumi ye adede emphata. Nti law no ankasa ma wo remedies. It is not as if to say that there are no remedies. There are remedies. So I want to take advantage of the remedies provided by the law to correct those things, those idiosyncrasies of the judge. Now, as some we know about Abakase, oh, judge na yet, yes. Then, I mean, to what purpose will it serve? To what purpose? And in fact, if you take steps in court to bring to the attention of the judge now on own personal idiosyncrasies there, who are ankasa who doing who say are affecting case, no, those will be recorded and to be on the record. So, and if you are convinced that those things, no, are affecting the trial, the impartial trial, the fairness of the trial, that could be grounds for appeal. That could be grounds for appeal.
Council, Bakwam Oma complaining and Honorable and the Appiah Kubi are complaining, say the case was highly expedited. Just say, a debu okra umbeko court no lead counsel never can say, oh, your case wa. One cousin, your case was over time, or so be a mepon bear 2 of us. Oh, okay. And about 3 mumra. Was it a hina ye sadi? Was it a do baby crana who said Sadiana trial judge was alien to our jurisprudence?
No, it's not alien. Let me see. That is the judge's court. And he is responsible for case management. Say introduction who care about case management.
Yo, pa.
So yeah, evaluation no. Where judge no. Evaluate no. So he has to do a certain number of cases and complete within a certain period of time for his evaluation.
Oh, promotion, Neboa.
If we can say promotion, we see evaluation.
And I mean,
that's his court, and this is how he wants to run it. Because ultimately, you can't pander to your whims and caprices. Because no court, no court, no court, no lawyer, no court. It's the judge's court. So you can't detect to the judge how to conduct the cases in his own court.
Oh, sanity!
Sanity. That's why when the judge says that, come not, and you say, oh, ask my Lord, please this. One is yes. Okay, so
I see.
I don't know why you say
Council, my additional kakra. You say your case is as good as your lawyer. Sadie no correct.
No, no correct. No correct. You see, you're training, no. Sometimes your case is good, but your lawyer doesn't know the procedure, and then it messes up the case. Sometimes your case is not that good, it's a borderline. Your lawyer knows the procedure. He knows the pitfalls. He appreciates the weaknesses of your opponent's case. And then, in the criminal matter, for instance, it's about the ingredients of the offense. The ingredients of the offense. Say we hear live soup. A day they would hear live soup, no. A different from a day they would hear bunubuno. So if you cook live soup and say that this is bunubuno, I as a lawyer should tell you that no. these ingredients are not in the soup. So you can the offense will not be made out. The soup will not be made out. You understand? So offense their crime their were ingredients. So as a defense lawyer, I want to see whether the ingredients have been met. And not only met, that there is proof beyond reasonable doubt. So in all submission, I tell you that the defense lawyer in a criminal matter is just to raise doubt. You're just to raise doubt. Immediately you raise doubt, that doubt is to the benefit of your client. But you must conduct the case in its totality. That's how it is done.
I can't mean say what it is and be say. Galam say yinya chama Wontumi nkuna ye kase nkrofo ye. Why should he be singled out and then put on the legal chopping board?
Prostitution nipa bakono ye. Nipa bakono ye prostitution. But some have done it, they have never been arrested. Some have done it, they have been arrested. Armed robbery. Nipa bakope no ye. Money laundering and scam 419. Nipa bakope no ye.
It might be a syndicate.
There might be a syndicate. And some will even escape the syndicate. When you are arresting them, some will escape.
Yes.
That's how the law works. But the long arm of the law will catch up with the people. Tell what you want to be freer. The Wontumi will not be no longer in the equation. Yes, sir.
Huh?
So it means that the next person will not be Wontumi. You understand? That's how the long arm of the law works. Why you need free? In America, it's different. In America, their jurisprudence, they would have taken time to see all those people connected with Wontumi, including those who are sitting in Accra and those who are sitting in offices. And then when they are arrested, they arrest all of them. They break the syndicate. But we pick the people who, I think it's part of the difficulties in investigation and the time, because yes, some people are doing it, but they will be arrested. If the law finds them, it will arrest them. Yeah.
Now, a council back where we must and other case a Exim Bank case. Now, Nipabia, you say, oh, what call Exim Bank and one more your business and a loan no and one samwaba. It's other civil, civil procedure, echo swore on the Exim Bank, dino, a criminal matter. Now, could do safe Wontumi kura say, Woma criminalizing Kradia Wate na wobe go for plea bargain within the civil and then the civil matter and then the criminal matter no eba ni saying konbebre yanti asie yemi ayeni mrei
what did the lawyers attack the fraud vitiates everything. What is that?
Yeah, fraud vitiates everything. Yeah.
You can't put something on nothing.
Yes.
It won't stand. What could you loan? Now, crater the Wukoji loan in a forge papers. Can the loan stand?
Daddy.
Good. So the Mukasano, they're just taking one part of the case and talking about it. I'm not saying that Wontumi case is that, but I'm saying that you can conduct a matter in a civil setting, but that will have criminal underpinnings.
Okay. Let's just say Criminal and Other Offences Act in 101 no crab to me a juma defrauding by false pretense.
Defrauding by false pretense, it's a civil matter. It starts with civil. We say we say unko America. Me say mbetima bua wa ko America. Na me say we say mbua wa for $2,000 bra. So that's a civil. Me say tam je kano. civil arrangement. Yes, sir.
And it's a council.
Some day, Casano wouldn't him say 1 year ambassador, 1 year councillor, 1 year Jumawo embassy. Wouldn't need it to me to send that person to America. Carter, there would be Fanoko America, Nina, forged papers.
So you are promising what you can't give.
That's defrauding by false pretenses. Because the promise is fraud. And the fact that you say you can do it, no, it's a false pretense.
Wow. Any NHS and some pow council. Now council, me who adie bia me yema sheme kakra. Minerals and Mining Amendment Act in 2019, Act 995 no. What kind of offenses and penalties? Now section 99 will say a person who buys or sells minerals without a license in accordance with section 6 82, 97 or 104 or a valid authority granted under this act or any other enactment commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of not less than 10,000 penalty units and not more than 15,000 penalty units and to a term of imprisonment of not less than 15 years and not more than 25 years. We are not doing the
Oh, I won't tell you how it came about.
Catch them, council.
Then we were parliament. Mrs. Navika said, no, but I still remember the person who changed the present tense. That's, I know. That you are talking to me, I'm just seeing the person's face in my eyes. The original, that was when MPP was in office.
Oh.
The amendment, it came when MPP Nana Akufo-Addo Bresso. And the Attorney General did not bring the penalty, the original draft, the bill, no. It didn't come this way. But
original draft never say
a lower sentence.
Hey.
But that time no, na galamsey a problem no. That was the time the galamsey was a problem. So I told them, I warned them that if you are targeting a problem and you are targeting the specific problems with specific acts, you might end up passing bad laws. The one here.
Because my way to a year session 99 2 no or say a person who without license granted by the minister undertakes a mining operation contrary to provision of this act. B. Acts or instigates, command, counsels, procures, solicits, in ordinary manner purposely aids, facilitate, encourages, or promotes any acts in contravention of this provision act, in respect of which a penalty has not been specified, or contracts a non-Ghanaian to provide a mining support services, commits an offence, is liable to a summary commission to a fine of not less than 1,000 penalty units and not more than 15,000 penalty units, and to a term of not less than 15 years. They will be close mining. Mibusuani no no na waba na me tu ne fo se when you be mining the siska wo wobetimi akoye ana sa ye masase oba na se koye wo de koye chi na ya ka ho asem ya koye ni na no ana ma instigate ye yiro ho ye omuka se jai ko nyai yiro ni na no fa ye wo ma me no no ano den
wa facilitate wa encourage wa support
commande solicite instigate hey Papa,
so they have made it
could you call it a bad law?
They have made that thing a felonious offense. Now, well, that was intended to frighten people. Now, it was only said law itself is also to get people to understand that it's a high risk activity. Until we will cook them for more than 25 years. By which time you are 30 years, by which time you come out, you will be an old man. Then you bow out on Pununo. So that was the intention, to make it deterrent enough. But said the Amikaya when I was in Parliament, the enforcement bit, even say 5 years, is the enforcement that is important and not the sentence. Who can say at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, Nana Akufo-Addo Benso. There was an officer at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. He was accused of facilitating Ukai. Because of sentencing and because he was sympathetic to the government. When you are there, under defrauding by false pretenses.
One of the Criminal and Other Offences Act, you know.
So that they will give him a lesser sentence.
It's not less than 10 years, so a year penalty.
Yeah, but they give him a lesser sentence. So it's not less. They give him a lesser sentence.
Oh.
Not defrauding by false pretenses. They said, Okaka said Obama will be at to Galamsey, to this when he had no authority, to good when he had no authority. That falls under the Section 99. But Omunim said, 1, he was working in the office. 2, sympathetic to the government. 3, sentence no yet. So that is what law does when you pass it with an intention to implement it. Because when him say, Lord, it will be a bad law, it will your own crawford. So you have to balance the requirement for punishment with reasonableness.
Because when sentence near can was the penalties thereof. Where you to be found?
That's the penalty. That's the sanctions. These are the sanctions. So you limit how it is drafted. They have limited the discretion of the judge.
At this threshold, now bet him the partum, but copy this ceiling.
So the Obama band, but even the floor level is high. The floor level of the band is high. And just like we say, Ubuswani, who offers to say Okotuma, Wakanchiro, even telling him not to go and do so Kachiro, and there is evidence that we are Kachiro, and not telling him not to go and do, and keeping quiet will be you will be an accomplice.
Because Miyama was counseling area had it. One will say, oh, boys, I know we school, woman, you know, mine and woman, too, so soon you be not what's to me. Nina Kahu, I say, Masasini, me offer sin, we are my niece. We offer sin, koye, as I send me an army dear cocoa, mimpe, cocoa, no cry, say, I test fakoye, I commit an offense.
And you convicted, you are liable to be sentenced to not less than 15 years and no more than 25 years.
It be.
But I'm telling you that it was intended to deter.
Why? Well, say a job committee level, no near the idea. Yeah, will be the table, sir, at the Ediba. What's your body?
Moving to your body.
Maybe I'm a fellow Kukuno Keguma, light one.
It's parliamentary work. It came before my committee. It wouldn't say, I'm a legal. A ranking member of the Legal, Parliamentary and Constitutional Affairs Committee. That committee at the committee level, you recommend this, sir. But it went. But
also committee level, I recommend this, sir. A bus saying that a baby to me, a shim, a witchy, and we are not for Quambeso.
Committee no will report on a guide.
Okay.
It's not binding, it's a guide. So, your plenary noir, it is what is done in the plenary that becomes the law.
Oh.
So, in the plenary, Obibatima sponsor an amendment and justify the amendment. And that amendment will be voted on. So if the amendment is carried out, it becomes the law.
See.
That's part of the law. That's how law is made.
Our law is made. Council Mamina was a pa next time member of farms wanna yako farms in Yakohe. Why?
Yeah, thank you.
Bye bye. Honorable Alhaji Inusa Fuseni.